Alright, so everything is finally in. We have one of these Chinese X99 motherboards with an E5 1650 V4. Now the E5, 1650, 1660, 1680s, those are the ones I recommend if you're going to try and do any sort of light gaming rig, even an entry-level one with an X99 board, because these will have over 3 gigahertz base. And this one in particular goes to as a 3.6 gigahertz base, 4 gigahertz boost, 6 cores, 12 threads. So I think a lot of mistakes that I see with these builds, and then people pointing out the CPU bottleneck is they go with the high core count, low clock speed. I think this or a 1660 is about perfect for an RX 580 or even like an RX 6600 XT. So we're going to get this guy all put together with a 2 terabyte Team Group SSD. And all in all, you're looking at about a $350 all white build. We could have saved about $100 if we went black, but Jesse insisted that it be white. So everything is white, including the extensions for the power supply, the motherboard. The RAM is silver, but close enough. And the motherboard even has active cooling on the VRMs. So let's get this guy put together.
One eternity later.
Alright, so that build did not go as smooth as I thought. Everything's good now, but part of the build process I had to cut off the camera because for the past 2 hours I was troubleshooting power looping issues. So it would power on and immediately power off and power on and power off. Everything posted and worked fine outside of the case, so I thought maybe something was in the case, was shorted out, a standoff, something like that. Well, come to find out, the front USB 2, the power and data were crossed. So it was just, as soon as it would basically turn on those USB ports, it would just shut itself off. So after I fixed that, all the front I/O works. And everything in here works fine. The main reason why I went ahead and cooled this Xeon, because, well, that liquid cooler, I bought a bunch of them. I bought 10 total. So there was only like $44 for this one. I bought 10 total, counting the black ones. So with like the business discounts and everything, it was actually like within $10 of a decent air cooler. So why not just throw it on there and have the aesthetic all match. Cinebench just finished. Pretty consistent run for its second run. So this is all set. I'll show some better pictures and things like that. As I said, these are probably the 1660 V4 and the 1650, 1660, 1680 V4s are probably your best CPUs for X99 if you still want to do some light gaming, because they at least have a base clock of over 3 gigahertz. This one 3.6, and it'll turbo up to 4 gigahertz. And because it is a V4, it's Haswell, so it has the AVX2 instruction set, and so it's not a stutter fest with gaming like the V1s and V2s and some of the V3s are. So this is all set. I'm going to run a few more tests on it, make sure everything's good, and get it off to the customer. That was a big waste of time with the front I/O. I've had issues with these cases before, with these DIYPC cases and flaky front I/O, but it's usually like the USB port doesn't work or works intermittently. I've never had it basically cause power looping issues. But for the price, this was basically a $40 case with tempered glass side panel. And it has integrated RGB with an integrated RGB controller. I have it on white just to match the aesthetic, but it also controls the fan. So for under $50, these cases are excellent value. You just sometimes have issue with flaky front I/O.